Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this video here is going to be part 1 of my Kenshi walkthrough. So I am going to be doing a written version of this walkthrough as well as a video guide version of this walkthrough. The written version is going to contain more information and be better in basically every single way possible to the video version, which is what you're listening to now. I am not a videographer, and these videos are going to be very podcasty in nature. I'm going to basically talk about what's on the top of my mind. I'm going to be doing a lot of rambling, and it's just going to be basically an information dump of whatever comes to my mind, and it's not going to be as organized as the information on my website. However, this is a different type of format for people out there. If you don't feel like reading and you would rather listen, then this format is going to be better for you. So the written guide I know is going to have 3 parts on my website. Part 1 is going to be basically talking about how to get ready to adventure in Kenshi. So the start of the game, the initial grinds to make money and spend that what to spend that money on, what to buy, why to buy it, and basically how to prepare yourself for adventuring out into the world. So what I have done, Part 2 is going to be exploration, what to find in the world, where to explore, why you need to explore, tips for exploring, how to level up, where to level up, and all of those goodies. Also, where to get good gear, good items, good weapons, all of that stuff. And part 3 is going to be like the end game portion of Kenshi, which is going to include end game goals, things you can aim for, and really what is there to do at the end of this game. I'm not sure how many videos the video series is going to be. It's probably going to be more than 3 videos, because even if I make each video 1 hour long, it's probably not going to be long enough for the entire walkthrough. Although I could be wrong. Each of these videos may end up just being like 20 to 30 minutes long, and then I will call that, complete for as far as my video walkthrough goes. We're gonna have to see how it turns out. I don't know how much information I'm gonna be throwing at you or anything like that yet. I have a loose script, which is basically me reading off the walkthrough from my website, and that's basically what we're going on. So, like I said earlier, part 1 of this video is going to be initially getting started with the game, recruiting companions, making money so you can recruit companions, making money so you can feed yourself, making money so you can buy weapons and fight stuff, making money so you can buy armor and survive, and making money for basically everything. We need a lot of money in this game. A lot of money. Each companion is going to cost about 3,000 cats to about 7,500 cats, depending on which companion you buy. Looking at the bottom of my screen right now, you'll see I have Almar's Guides, Holtberg, Rain the Giant. Rain the Giant is one of the unique companions in this game. He costs 7,500 cats, and he is a very, very good companion. He comes with stats a little bit higher than everybody else. He came with either 25 or 26 strength and 17 dexterity. Ruka, she's one of the named companions in this game too, although you can she's one of the unique companions, but she's not one of the super duper unique companions. I don't know how else to describe it. She comes with 8 strength and 8 dexterity to start, and she comes with a backstory and her own name. So her backstory is she's a Shek and her horns were cut off, and horns are apparently like a symbol of honor in their culture. And she was dehorned, and she's a little upset about that, and she is basically, I think, an outcast ever since she got dehorned. So she basically throws her lot in with you. And if I remember correctly, Ruka is free of charge. All you have to do is basically empathize with her, and she will join your team. Maui and Arwick, both of these characters are characters I named myself. They were just low-level recruits. And Kang, the last one, he is one of the other unique characters in the game. He is one of the... hold on, I gotta actually feed him sometime soon, because he's getting kind of low on food. Kang is one of the strongest fighters that you can get at the start of the game, and you can find him in the town of, Squin. He spawns in Squin most of the time. Sometimes you can find him in Admag, which is the capital of the Shek, which makes sense since you would find Kang in the capital of the Shek. And he is probably one of the best starter companions you can get your hands on. That's right. Get some food. Poor guy, starving. So now that I'm on Kang, let me show you here in the what is this? I think it's a inn, right? Yeah, it's the inn. So you can see sometimes there'll be people sitting down at these tables. This one guy is named Telemina. I can talk to Telemina and purchase them for, let's see, 3,000 cats. This is the number one, well, this is the main way that you're going to be getting recruits. You visit any bar or any inn and you talk to the people there and basically pay them to accompany you. A lot of the recruits in the game, like that Telemina back there, you can see in the bottom left corner of my screen, Telemina only has 1 strength, 0 dexterity, 1 toughness, 0 dodge. Almost every companion you get in this game is going to start out with almost no stats whatsoever, and you're going to have to remedy that. You'll have to go out of your way and level them up. Some companions, like the ones I was talking about earlier, Kang, Rain the Giant, Ruka, they will come with a couple stats, or with some stats. And sometimes they cost a little bit more money, sometimes they're free depending on which companion it is. I strongly recommend you try to fill your party with the unique companions because they come with higher than normal stats. However, you're probably going to be using a lot of the basic companions too, the ones that you have to basically start from complete scratch in order to level up. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink. It's not that big of a deal if you have to start from scratch. It's just going to be a little bit more time consuming. Usually it's pretty quick leveling characters up from 1 to about 15 as far as stats go. Hold on. One of my characters is under attack, Arwick. You can see a screen flashing here. Let's see what's attacking him. Seems like we have a bandit group coming down. So I can actually show you some combat. This group is actually a little bit too challenging for me. They're dust bandits. They're not hungry bandits, which is bad. Dust bandits have stats in the teens. Hungry bandits have stats in the low, whatever you would call it, low numbers. It's single digits. And since these guys are running down on me, I have to run into the town because they will interrupt my mining and knock out my characters. You can see I got all of these characters by the mine running really, really slow, which is not good because they're going to end up being hurt. I have an option. I can drop the mine, some of the mine, ore, sorry, not mines. I can drop some of the ore if I want and run faster to town, but what I'm actually going to do instead is engage these dust bandits with a few of my characters. The reason I'm doing this is because it will level up my toughness. Let's see here. Holtberg, you can see my toughness is 6. Let me take 1 hit. And it jumped up by 20% basically in a single hit. And that is partly because my toughness is so low and also partly because I'm fighting an enemy with very high stats. Well, not very high stats, but stats a lot higher than the ones I have. Good, the Shek guards are actually coming to help me, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. This is one of the other ways of earning money early in the game, too. If you can pull enemies to the town and have the guards help you, you'll be able to loot their corpses and basically take their loot before the guards take their items or pick up the corpses and lock them in prison, which they usually do. These bandits are such low level too that you don't really have to worry about them killing any of your characters. I wish they were hungry bandits because that would be a lot. I'd feel a lot more comfortable fighting them. I'm unencumbering Almar so he can get in there and do some punching. So we have 2 characters down. Kang and Holtberg are both down. So things turned out better than I expected they would. See, as far as their corpses go, this is about what the bandits have on them. As you can see, nothing here is worth that much. About like 300 is the most expensive items right here, like the heart protector. So I can loot that. I'll take those because they I can sell them at least for something. The other items I'll leave because they're not really that valuable. Alrighty, now let's head into town and sell. I'll need to pick up my characters that are wounded because they can't run when they're wounded. So what I will do is, let's say, you have to right click and hold, or whatever your interact button is. You have to interact with their corpse or with their body and then pick it up like this. I should wait until I'm finished healing. It's not good that I still have open wounds like this. You can tell if you have an open wound based on looking at this window here. You can see how when it's like a light greenish color, it means that it's not damaged at all. When it's a like a blood color, like a light red, then it means that it's damaged but not healed. And when it's that yellow, like yellowish brown color, that means it's healed. And you need to always heal your limbs in this game and your other body, like your main body too, because that is how you survive. That is the health in this game. So I'm going to buy some med kits because we're getting kind of, since we're encountering enemies, we need med kits now. It's been peaceful for a while as far as mining. I haven't had to worry too much about fighting anything. That was one of the first fights I did on these characters. So I'm going to offload all the crap I just looted from the bandits. I mean, I guess it's a decent amount of money. Could be worse, right? I'm going to buy those building materials too. And we're going to head over to the adventuring merchant because I want to buy some more first aid kits from him. I'm also going to buy a bunch of maps because I want to unlock map locations for other cities and explorable areas. So as far as the maps go, if you already know the location, it will say it. Like you can see location already known. That seems like all I need. And then you just right click on the maps to learn them out of your inventory. I do recommend you spend some of your early money on maps. It'll help out a lot to get the locations on your map so you know where you're going. Even if you just alt tab and look at the maps too online, it's still useful to have them on your in-game map so you can better plot where you're going. One thing to mention too, now that my character is carrying around somebody, you'll notice that his strength XP percentage right here in the bottom left says 50% instead of the 25%, which is usually the cap. And this is purposeful. When you're carrying a character, you will increase the strength bonus up to 50% instead of 25% being the cap. So let's see what I can make. I don't think I can make anything valuable yet. Small research bench is about it. We'll actually put that down over here right now. So I'm starting to work towards my crafting playthrough. Since I bought a building in the town, oh yeah, I can tell you how to buy a building in the town. It's actually pretty straightforward, albeit it's a little bit confusing too. When you find a destroyed building like this in town, left click it and you'll see in the bottom left here, see how it says open to public and it'll also say for sale? You just click this little symbol here, the C7200, and then it will prompt you to buy it. Once you buy it, you will have to use some building materials on it to reconstruct it and rebuild it basically, but once you do that, it's a building that you own permanently in that town. And then you can, you know, do what I'm doing like now in the buildings that you own. You can put research benches in them and then put whatever else you want in them and basically set it up just like you would a building inside of a base that you built outside of a town. And then we're going back to mining. For those of you who are basically brand new to Kenshi, one of the best ways to make money during the very early game is mining, just like you're seeing me doing here. Mining is it's a very, very straightforward task. All you need to do is basically highlight your characters and right-click on the mine to tell them to start mining it. Unless you're in town, or sorry, unless you have like a base with storage built nearby, you will need to manually select items out of the output and put them into your inventory like you see me doing. That is really the only the only manual thing you need to do. The only thing you need to micromanage and involve yourself with. Otherwise, the whole entire mining process is pretty automated and well, it's actually completely automated. And of course, you need to keep an eye out for enemies too. I'd recommend saving once every like 5 minutes in case enemies come ripping down off the side of the mountain. You don't notice them until they get on top of you, and then you have to, and then you die and have to reload and all that nasty, not fun stuff. As far as enemies go, you'll encounter dust bandits and hungry bandits here. Slavers will also bother you depending on what you look like. If you look like a slave, like if you just started out at level 1, you've not bought any new gear for yourself yet, then slavers will bother you. And slavers bothering you is about as annoying as this background song is, where it's obscenely loud, significantly louder than anything else in the game. So I'm going to try not to talk during it so I don't have to shout over it. So instead of Squin, I know it's still so loud. The other place you can do this mining stuff at is up here, Shobatai. It's a bit of a run. It's an easier run than it looks. You would run from Squin, probably here through Skinner's Roam, and then you would kind of try to cut across here through the arm of Akron into the Skin Sands, and then basically just cut across there. I would recommend trying to avoid Bass. There's a lot of enemies there. The enemies that are in the Skin Sands aren't that bad, and they can be avoided. Arm of Okran, Skimmer's Roam, Akron's Pride, and Akron's Gulf, all of those places have relatively the same enemies. So if you can handle some enemies and some of them, then you'll be good in the other ones. Although if you're hostile to the Holy Nation, you will have to keep an eye out in the Akron zones because the Holy Nation does control them. and they will attack on sight if you're like a Shek or a skeleton, or they just don't like you. I think females too they go after, but I could be wrong. And as far as other ways to make money, I can't remember where I left off, but I do know I was talking about it. I would recommend, let me scroll down my walkthrough. Mining, like I said before, this is the best way to make money in my honest opinion. It might be a bit boring, but I think it's the best. Just learn the map, please. Sorry, yelling at the game. There we go. Aside from mining, you can also train enemies to guards, which you kind of saw me do earlier in this video. You can steal items from towns and then sell them in other towns. This is kind of an obvious one. It's also probably something you started with doing. And here comes the annoying sounds again. You can do a trading route. Trading routes are pretty I would say advanced. They're not something you'll be able to do on a new character, or a new group, so keep that in mind. Mining is really the easiest thing you can do. If you do a trading route, what you want to do is you'll probably run from Shark to Katoon to Morn and then to Flats Lagoon, which is like right there. It's one of the better, or sorry, I'm not sure you hit 3 towns. I think you just go to Flats Lagoon and then what is the other one? Flats Lagoon and then Morn and then back to Shark. The reason you do this rotation is because you can buy hashish and other thingies in Shark, and then you can buy what is it? Cactus rum from Flats Lagoon and the other town, and then you can run them back to Shark. And in Shark you buy sake and hashish, and then you run that to Morn. And you basically, the main reason and you also do skeleton repair kits too. They're also something you can trade back and forth between the towns. In this game, not every town sells everything and buys everything for the same price. It's specifically designed so you can do something like that. You can buy items in a certain town, run them to another town, sell them there for a profit. So keep that in mind. That is also an option for making money as well. You can also start a shop and sell what you make through crafting. And I don't mean start a shop and use the actual shop counter, which is a buildable item or buildable thing that they allow you to make in this game, because the shop counters don't make enough money and they're kind of useless. They, good idea, bad execution, basically. In order to make money through crafting, what you're going to do is you're going to have to buy a building inside of a town, like you see me, like I showed you in Squin, and basically make items and then sell the items to all the vendors in the town. And then every day, the vendors their money will refresh, and then you just make more items, sell them back to the vendors, and rinse and repeat over and over and over and over and over again. And that's basically how you'll make a lot of money through crafting in this game. Another thing that's worth mentioning, once you start getting a big enough squad, like you see me having here, I will show you in a second. Make sure you hit map, you go into the AI tab at the top, and you turn on share food right here. This will make it so long as you have food in a backpack on one of your characters, every character in that squad will be able to eat out of the backpack. That way you don't have to micromanage food on each character individually. All you need is enough food on one of your characters and you're good to go. So once you get some amount of money from mining, it's time to Rain the Giant. Why are you? Oh, because Almar's not over here. Hold on. I like this little enemy right here. Is he part of any faction? No, he is not part of any faction, so we're going to kill it. Goats are pretty weak, and he's got 2 little goat puppies with him. There we go. Hold on. Another thing you can do, so long as your characters have med kits, hold down shift and hit your action button. I think it starts as right click, but I have mine bound to Q, so if you ever hear me say Q, I'm talking about the issue command button. Basically the button that you use to tell people to go places. Hold down shift and press that button while moused over a character, like you see I have here for Arwick. He has the little medic plus sign when I mouse over him. This will assign characters to permanently do the, well, not permanently, but until you toggle it otherwise, to do the medic job. And so long as they have, what do you call it, first aid kits in their inventory, they will perform the medic job. They will do their duties. Well, let me actually loot these goats. The main reason I wanted to attack the goats is because goats are very, very weak in terms of really animals in this game. And they're an easy kill. They'll raise my toughness, a little bit of loot for killing the animals, and of course weapon skills as well. And dexterity if I'm using a weapon that uses dexterity, strength if I'm using a weapon that uses strength, yada yada. But goats are a very, very, very good early thing to hunt if you can find them. They're a little bit difficult to find depending on which zone you're in. In the Borderlands, which is where I am right now, it's quite challenging to find goats. And if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, essentially I'm just leveling athletics as I wait for all of my characters to get close. Athletics and strength, technically, since my characters are encumbered. It's not required for you to do that. It's just something that I do, because it's an easy way to get some skill points early on in the game. So I'm going to talk a little bit about gear and weapons that you'll want to buy as well. So as far as gear goes, you're going to want to start with light armor for your characters. And the reason you want to start with light armor is because your characters really can't carry anything other than light armor at the start of the game. If you get a unique recruit like Kang, Rain the Giant, or somebody like that, then you'll be able to equip them with heavy armor, and you'll also be able to turn on Taunt and allow them to tank for your group. So what I want for Kang here is I would like some samurai armor for him that is good quality, but there is none for sale. Samurai armor is some of the best heavy armor you can get, and it's pretty common, which is nice. This plate jacket isn't too bad. It's a little bit expensive, but that's fine. It makes sense because it's a high grade, but this would be my second pick. This mercenary plate isn't bad either. One thing that's worth acknowledging, though, is you'll notice the mercenary plate kind of has the same resistances as the plate jacket because it is standard grade and the plate jacket is high grade. Like you'll notice it has the same blunt resist. It has a little bit less cut resist and a little bit more cut resist efficiency. The main differences between it are the coverage. You'll notice that the heavy armor covers 90% of the left arm and the right arm, 70% of the stomach, and 100% of the chest. That's not good, that it only covers 70% of the stomach. You would want, if possible, you would want leggings that cover the stomach, like these samurai cloth pants. If you were going to use something like this, you want to get something else on your legs that cover the stomach. I think samurai cloth pants do. Yeah, they cover it by 50%. So I think that would give you 100% protection altogether. The main reason I'm mentioning this, though, is the stomach is one of your vital areas. If the stomach, if your limbs drop below -100, you'll lose your limb. It'll come off in combat. However, if your stomach, chest, or your head drops below -100, you'll die immediately. So it's very important that you protect those areas the most. Your head, your stomach, and your chest. So I'm actually going to buy this and use this because I like that armor. So that's for Kang. And as you can see, Kang is already suffering some penalties as far as his strength, dexterity, and dodge go because he's encumbered from the armor. Well, actually, there you go. Some of his penalties just went away. But he still has a decent amount of weight on him, which isn't that good. And he's also missing a shirt, which isn't that good either, because shirts are actually quite protective. They're one of the more important slots. As far as you'll notice all of these different grades. So for armor, the worst grade you can get is prototype, which is like a gray color. Let me find one right there. Samurai leg plates. They're prototype grade. So they're total crap. The step up from that is shoddy, which is right here. So you can see the comparison. Samurai legs, and when I say look at the comparison, I'm specifically saying I'm referencing the resistances. So at the top of the tooltip, below where it shows heavy armor class, you'll see it says blunt resist, cut resist efficiency, and harpoon resist. This is like the main thing you want to pay attention to. And you'll notice between shoddy and prototype, the resists go up quite a bit. After shoddy, the next one is standard. This is the blue items you see here. After standard, the next one is high, which is the green one that you see here. After high, you have specialist and masterwork. Both specialist and masterwork qualities appear in a yellow color. And masterwork is the highest quality you can get for a lot of items and armor in this game. There are other things you can buy aside from just... Hold on, I'm still checking gear. There are a few things you can buy aside from armor that have these same qualities on that. What is this? This is Rain, yeah. Rain the Giant. Technically, I would like to get a little bit better gear on him, too. A little tankier gear, I mean. Back to 22,000 cats. So let me move over here to the weapon vendor. Falling Sun. This is one of the best weapons in the game. Falling Suns are usually some of the best. Old refitted blade. That's not a bad roll either. Refitted blade. That's better, right? Yeah, it is. So I'm actually going to buy those. I wish I could get something a little better quality, but... So weapons, they are a little bit different as far as quality goes. They have like 20 different quality rankings. The worst is rusted junk, and then rusting blade, and then mid-grade salvage. I'm pretty sure all three of those are the gray color. From there, it steps up to old refitted blade, then to refitted blade, and I'm pretty sure those two are white. Let me check see if I have any. Yeah, refitted blade, rusted junk, rusting blade. I can't remember what Cattoon No 1 and Cattoon No 2 and Cattoon No 3 are color-wise. Let me, actually, I'm going to leave Almar in town. Because I would like to vendor shop real fast. For the purposes of this video. So let's say, yeah, Cattoon No 2. So that means Cattoon No 2 is the last rank of white, and then it goes to Cattoon No 3, which is the first rank of blue items, or of weapons. So see where it shows the model number Cattoon No 2 at the bottom of the weapon tooltip? This is how you tell the weapon rarity in this game. And like I said, there are like 16, I think actually 14 is the right number, right? 14 categories of melee weapons in this game. I would honestly recommend looking for one that is a cartoon, at least, rarity. But if you can get something a little bit better, I would get that. What you're mostly wanting to look for is you want to look for items of the type we want. The quality is secondary. What you want most of all is the right types of items. There are specific weapons in this game that are exceptionally good. Foreign Saber, Paladin's Cross, Falling Sun, Nodachi, Heavy Jit, Polearm, and Guardless Katana, to name a few. These are a few of the very powerful weapons in this game. Sorry, hiccups. Bad time, right? Usually the best items that you can find, that right there is a very high ranked one, MK1. This is probably one of the better items being sold at this vendor. Usually you'll have a hard time finding any items better than MK 1, 2, or 3 at vendors. Yeah, that's the best weapon being sold at the vendor. The best weapons you'll almost ever find at any vendor are Edge Type 1 and Edge Type 2. I think I've seen a vendor sell an Edge Type 3, but they're very, very, very rare to see an Edge Type 3. Even an Edge Type 1 or 2 being sold at a vendor. They're the last two rankings before the final ranking, which is Me Too. I'm pretty sure is how it's pronounced. It is spelled MEITOW. And Me Too weapons only drop off of bosses in the game. So there's actually a herd of goats over there, which I like. Look at all these goats. Do they belong to any faction? No, they do not. I think we're going to attack. The thing about these goats is even if they take us out, they'll walk away. Which is another good thing about them, which they are going to take us out. They're going to knock out all of my characters. And now they'll just leave. Now that got a lot of toughness XP for all of my characters. As you can see, almost all of my characters have at least 10 toughness now. I'm going through them now to check them. Nice. I like that. You might be thinking to yourself, like, dude, you just, like, wiped to a pack of goats. That's embarrassing. You're half right. The goats also leveled me up. And we're actually starting to lose Holtberg right now. Holtberg is, getting, like, he needs to be healed ASAP. Somebody needs to get up and get on to healing Holtberg. Let's see who's going to wake up first. Kang is going to wake up first. And Rain the Giant. Do they have medkits? No. Kang has a medkit. So we're going to save Holtberg first since he's critical. We need to patch up his chest so he stops bleeding like that. Now we're good. That went really, really well, actually. I couldn't have, nobody died, which is excellent. And, only, I think one character is in a recovery coma. Yeah, only Arwick, I think, is in a recovery coma. Nope, Ruka's in a recovery coma, too. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up all of these characters. So I'm going to level up Strength XP a little bit. We're going to do a tricky trick. So that's some bandits, right? Yeah, dust bandits. Wonder why they're not attacking. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is, while my characters recover, I'm going to basically level up strength. And to do that, I'm going to run back and forth in this town. So let's first look at who's carrying who. Rain the Giant is carrying Arwick and Kang is carrying Ruka. Ooh, enemies coming to town. Almar's guides is still out there limping along. So you'll notice one trip back and forth through town. Like, let's look at Kang. You can see his strength is going up a decent amount. And he's not encumbered either. He's just got the bonus XP from what he's carrying, and that's it. So there you go. He gets a strength level up. I'm sure the others are leveling up as far as strength goes too. This is also leveling up their athletics too, which allows them to run faster. This is all minor stuff. The only reason I'm doing this right now is because my characters are wounded and I can't really do much else. I don't want to stand outside of town while my characters are wounded because they can't defend themselves even remotely as good as they could otherwise. And they can't run away fast enough because they're wounded. Almost daytime. So let's say normal recovery coma. Whose corpse is this? A dust bandit. So we're actually going to loot this corpse since it's just chilling in the middle of town. And we're going to run to this vendor. Because when the store opens, I want to buy some goodies. I need more first aid kits. The store opens in 30 minutes, so I'm just going to run around back and forth until it does. Strength and athletics, skill ups. Very, very minor benefits, but benefits nonetheless. Store's open. I hate that. When you get that paper doll, rag doll thing when a body shoots off when you set it down. Mighty annoying. So it's worth mentioning too that raw meat right there, the Shek won't eat it, but the whatever Scorchlander will, the white guy, Greenlander. Let's head up here to buy some maps too, or rather to see what this NPC has. So, I am currently in the town of Squin, like I said at the start of the video. And it is worth mentioning that you most likely will have to go to a different town if you want to get some different weapons for sale. I'm kind of lucky I found some Falling Suns for sale in this town. However, I don't think I'll get that lucky in the future with other weapons. And I would like to buy other weapons that probably aren't for sale in this town, so we will be leaving this town soon. And I also want some companions that aren't Sheks, because Sheks are hated by the Holy Nation. And there is nobody else in this bar that I can buy for a companion. Here is some food I can get, though. And food is good. See, if you want to do trading runs, this is what you can pay attention to. See when I mouse over this cactus run, it says price markup, 81%. This shows you that this item is only selling at 81% of its normal value at this location. And the reason that it's not selling at 100% of its value is because it's cactus rum and we are in a desert region, which is... it means it's more common in this region, which means the sell price isn't as high as it would be otherwise. So if you bought that cactus rum and you went to, say, Shark, the cactus rum will sell for more in Shark because that is in a desert region and they can't make cactus rum there. However, since that region is a swampy region, you'll be able to buy sake there and hemp, which can be made there, and sell them for more in this area because it can't be made here. One thing that's worth mentioning, though, is hemp is illegal in many areas in this game, so keep that in mind. If you go to the United City... Well, no, I think it's... Oh, hold on, bandits. These are dust bandits, right? Yep. So I want to go a little bit closer to town, but not too close, because I do want to fight these guys. So let's say. Okay, let me pause real fast. Kang, nah, we're gonna do Almar. So let's watch my toughness. One hit, and it jumped up by like almost 20%. This is probably the best way to raise your toughness in an early game. You fight enemies outside of towns. And like I said before, it will raise your, whatever you call it too. Your weapon skills. One easy way, if you're fighting enemies outside of towns to preserve the loot, because the guards do love dragging away those bodies, is to do what you just seen me doing. Loot the body like this. Take all of the loot off the body and just drop it on the ground. Guards only care about picking up the bodies because they either incinerate them or they put them in prison. They don't care about the loot, though. So if you take the loot off the bodies, the loot will stay on the ground and the guards will clean up the bodies. Not good, not that good of money since they're just dust bandits. Better than hungry bandits, though. And since the guards helped me quick enough, nobody ended up getting severely hurt. Well, also my toughness has been going up a decent amount, so nobody ended up getting hurt anyway. Got caught stealing. No, what do you mean? I disagree with this. That I got caught stealing. Oh, I see. I see why it says that. Because the actual bandits are still alive. That's why. Is he still alive? Yeah, he is. That's why. I thought the Shek guards caught me stealing, and I'm like, but I'm taking from bandits. Didn't make any sense. But it makes sense now. The actual bandit was still, that I was stealing items off his corpse, he was still alive. Uh-oh, another group of bandits. That's fine, though. The guards are already here fighting with me. Bandits won't run away with your bodies. They will steal food off your bodies, though, so keep that in mind. My characters are getting knocked out fast because I'm already pretty wounded from previous fights. I'm just basically fast forwarding here because there's no point in me like micromanaging this fight to any degree. Holtberg and Kang, they're still injured. Well, no, Kang is standing up now. What about Holtberg? You're in a coma for a little bit longer. So what we're going to do is we're going to loot these bandits and we're going to run them back and forth to town, the bodies, so we can sell some goodies. So Mewe, you can get out here and you can pick up these goodies. Yoink. Yoink. Yoink, yoink. Yoink. Alrighty, so let's vendor what we got. So, 4,100 gold is how much we have right now. $7,100. So we didn't get that much. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, it's not like we make a fortune. We made like 5,000 or 6,000. It's a bit more fun than mining, though. That's for sure. Dust Bandit. Here's another body. And of course we get some toughness too, which is always nice. One thing that's worth mentioning, if you do this method, don't loot the guards' corpses because then you will get faction hits. You will suffer, and you can also get attacked by the guards and stuff like that. Just don't loot the guards. Unless they don't see you at all, then you can like sneak and loot, but make sure nobody sees you. Also, you might not be able to sell, if you loot the guards, you probably won't be able to sell the items you loot for them in the town that they were protecting, because people in that town will recognize the items, unless you sell them to the fence, that is. People in the town will recognize the items and then call the guards on you when you try to sell them. And this video has been about 54 minutes long, which is about as long as I wanted part 1 to go. And I'm probably going to end part 1 shortly, because I've given you basically the whole gist of getting started in the game and what you need to do. Again, there's probably a lot I didn't mention in here that I would like to mention, but I went through part 1 of the walkthrough on my website, and I covered most of what I have written down so far in part 1 of the walkthrough on my website. If you guys would like more information that wasn't provided in this video, please check out almarsguides.com. I do have additional information on that website. That is my website, and I'm going to be doing a walkthrough, a complete walkthrough for Kenshi, which is currently still being worked on, which is going to cover it's going to cover basically the entire game. I have about 500 hours into this game, and I enjoy it quite a bit, so decided I would do a walkthrough for it. Still some bodies around to loot too. Lots of bodies, actually. That's the good part about pulling enemies to town and looting them that way. Hungry bandits aren't very worth it, but dust bandits have equipment that's actually worth selling and looting. Hungry bandits, they basically just have rags. If I missed anything with this video that you guys think I should have added, please let me know in the comments section below. It's always nice to get additional feedback and information from other people that are out there. If any of my strategies were incorrect, outdated, wrong, or you think you can do better, please let me know in the comment section below as well. I don't know if I just repeated myself there, but I think I did. That way, whoever's listening to the video will get the most correct and accurate information possible. If I'm not perfect, I do make mistakes. If I do make a mistake, I don't mind people pointing it out and letting me know in the comments below. If this video helped you out, please leave me a like, because that's going to help me out. And if you would like to see part 2 and 3 of this video series or of the walkthrough series, definitely do check out my YouTube channel, and also, or I should say, or check out my website, almarsguides.com, because there's going to be a lot of information on my website that is not in this video series. And that's really all there is to it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys around in future Kenshi videos. Peace.